Hey, here we go. Check this out.
This is Whole Nother Level with Dwayne Lindo.
You know, frankly, I feel that we shouldn't even be talking about this. Simple as that.
The great L. Bushman.
They'd have to make so many adjustments, but I don't know what they have to do. They need a miracle. They need a miracle.
Frank Mazzei.
Did they win the offseason in free agency? Yes. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Craig Cousin.
How can you not put Tom Brady number one on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks? Man, this guy's a legend. Rings speak.
And Eric Wilson.
I didn't know Eric was going to let you talk.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I've seen enough Facebook posts to know that you're not a Giants fan. Let's go. And welcome, everyone, to another edition of Whole Nother Level. We are here at Co-Work, Florida. This is your man, Eric Wilson. I am joined by the great L. Bushman. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I don't know why.
You're always tired.
I'm not always tired.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
and
not.
I'm the old one, but you're the one who's always tired. Go figure that one out, folks.
I'm tired because I'm just tired.
Yeah, you're just tired.
I didn't have enough caffeine today.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Folks, we are on Raw Talk Online. We're on Spreaker.com. We are also on Rat Pack Sports Radio Network. You can check us out of all those places.
Apparently we got signed up for another one today.
Yeah, I just saw that. Our girl Natasha, we have a whole new podcast going on. I don't know what it's called, but
When I'll pull it up and I'll let you know.
Okay. But as always, the number to chime in is 813-699-5353. This is Whole Nother Level. Great L. Bushman.
Yes.
Normally, I would ask everybody how they're doing, but I've seen you for the past 10 hours, so I already know how you're doing.
Yes.
I guess we can
and I as well.
Yeah, we can jump right into the show.
Yes,
so, did you watch any of Ice Cube's 3-on-3 game last night?
You know what?
The league debut.
I'm kind of mad.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't.
Oh.
I know. But,
man.
But, like, the highlights and all the news feeds from Bleacher said it was actually, like, they were saying it's pretty, like, a success. It's like,
yeah,
the games are exciting. They have all, like, the old school rules, so there's no, I mean, the flopping is not there. You can actually do hard fouls.
Yep.
And, like, hard fouls is, and guys are actually getting hurt. Like, Jason Williams, White Lightning is already out.
Yeah.
With a knee injury. So, I think one of the big complaints was not enough AI.
No, and you know what? I turned it on specifically because I wanted to see him. I felt like they did more like pre-interview stuff and not so much of him actually playing. And the first game that he was playing, they only showed highlights of it. They didn't really go into too much detail of what he was doing. They just kind of showcased him as far as, you know, being a coach, also being a player.
I guess what his role is more of a coach and then a spectator too.
Yeah.
Since I guess he's afraid to play, maybe because he's too old.
No,
he's what, 40 years old?
It's not that he's afraid to play. He actually said this in one of the pregame interviews. He said, "Listen, I'm just there to give these guys the opportunity and let them shine." He's like, I think his primary is to be a coach, or more like
an ambassador.
Yeah.
For the thing.
His secondary or even third or fourth is to actually be a player. I don't think it's that he doesn't want to play because we know AI can play. I'm sorry. But I think he is more about contributing on the back end of this whole thing,
right? And
saying, let me showcase the guys that still want to play, still have the opportunity to play, and can still play.
You know what would be badass? And I know it's only 3-on-3. What if? I mean, so far so good.
Right.
It's a success, but going into maybe next year, whenever they decide to do this, because what's it, like a 10-day road trip or something like that?
I don't know.
Take 10 games.
Okay.
But if I wouldn't say it expands to 5-on-5, but if they keep it at 3-on-3, but like the Monstars reunite, like you got Sean Bradley, you got Muggsy Bogues, you got Larry Johnson, Charles Barkley. You got those guys together, and then Jordan somehow gets persuaded to play. That would be awesome.
That would be funny.
That would be so awesome.
Well, there was already talk last night because Paul Pierce he was a spectator last night, and he even said, "Listen, maybe me, KG, Kobe will come out next year and play." So there's the rumor mill has already begun, even after one showing of this.
I honestly want to check it out. I honestly like this because it gets all those old stars together. They're playing ball. honestly, it looks more exciting than what's actually going on in the real NBA.
No, I agree. And again, we are
and you can foul hard.
We are freshly removed off this past NBA season, but if we are already predicting what's going to happen next season, I'm glad this is out now because this gives us the opportunity to actually not only watch basketball, but enjoy it. I mean, they have the 4-point shot.
Yeah, I like that.
3 free throws are now worth 2 points. So you're going 2, 3, and 4. You can shoot from beyond the arc at 4 or 3. Everything else is 2. And that's what I like it. Plus, it's 3-on-3.
If they get really cool with it, remember Rock and Jock basketball?
I do.
Where they had like the 20-point shot with the rim that was like 100 feet up, and then they had the 5. If they got creative like that and do like the Rock and Jock rules,
I think I wish they would bring that back for
just no celebrities, just
All-Star
only basketball players.
See, I would rather than bring that back for All-Star Weekend and go back to that format because that's the format that for me I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see that. Who's gonna make the 20 or the 50 or whatever it was point shot, and then to watch some of these celebrities. Listen, one of the best things that I saw with the celebrity Rock and Jock was when Queen Latifah stole the ball from Sean Kemp. Now,
I remember that. I remember that's way back.
Highlight.
That's way back.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, those are the days and the things that I miss, as opposed to what they are currently pushing out there for 82 games. So I'm excited for this. I hope it evolves. I agree with you. However, I like what it is. I like the format. I like the setup. It's first 1 to 60. Got to win by 2.
Because you know what this could lead to if this is a really major success is it could take other sports too, like football and then baseball. I mean, football might be a little bit too hard. Because
I was going to say, how would you really do football?
Flag football.
They have that,
but like make it as like the flag football they do for All-Star Weekend. For the Pro Bowl. And then for baseball, you can do it as the old Rock and Jock baseball game.
I would like to see that.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be very cool.
I don't know what hockey's going to do. I don't know.
Unless you get, like, the Mighty Ducks to play.
True.
Triple D.
Speaking of the NBA, the awards ceremony was also last night. And, some of the awards that were given out, some people were... I don't know. Let's talk about this.
Do you want to go from like the bottom to the top, or do you?
Yeah. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Exactly.
Okay, don't ever say that.
Why not? Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
So should we Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year. That went to Milwaukee Bucks guy. What was his name?
Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon. Okay. Brogdon. In all honesty, I mean, look, who are his competitors?
Joel Embiid and then Dario Saric.
Yeah, 2 guys from the 76ers. So clearly, this was obviously a unanimous decision. I mean, Brogdon looked good for Milwaukee. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they're a young team. Let's see what happens. But, I mean, he came out there this year. He showed that he was, better than the others. So I really can't say anything too bad about the guy, except I hope in Milwaukee he's able to continually produce, and be a superstar. But, I mean, when you're going up against 2 guys from the 76ers who can't win more than 20 games together.
Honestly, man, I think this next year,
we'll see.
Like
I said,
be good.
I want them to get past 20, 25 wins.
I said 40 or 45.
Right. And again, 40 to 45 in the Eastern Conference, that'll get you a playoff spot. But I just want to see what they're going to do. I am a fan. And I now believe of trusting the process, but the proof is in what we see on paper. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Who's up next?
I think the most controversial one is Coach of the Year. Because I know Craig screams about it. You had an opinion on it.
I did.
I, for one, don't agree with this at all.
Okay.
Is Mike D'Antoni Coach of the Year?
Really?
I don't agree with it.
Why not?
Because you didn't make a team. Okay, you went from 41 wins to 55.
Okay.
Why wasn't even Brad Stevens on that list? We're talking about Coach of the Year. I mean, D'Antoni had a team that was average at best. You had one good player. You lost in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And I just even having Eric Spoelstra on
Spoelstra. Well, that was what we argued.
I don't understand why. Now Pop all day.
Yeah, of course.
You can take out Eric, and then you can even take out D'Antoni and put Brad Stevens on there. I just don't understand why. I mean, you can even say put Tyronn Lue on there, but
No.
we all know LeBron's the coach.
So then my question is, why wasn't Steve Kerr on this? Because he had back issues and because he didn't play? I mean, because
I would
he
say
didn't
that.
coach,
I think your financial advisor Rafael Tony Lopez even said you can even put Mike Brown on
you could.
because Mike Brown pretty much coached that team all the way up into the playoffs until Kerr came back.
Right.
So I just don't agree with Dan. Maybe because I don't like it, D'Antoni.
Well, listen, I've never been a fan of the D'Antoni system. However,
It's an old system.
It is.
I just don't understand why leave off Brad Stevens when Stevens had, and this is what, his second or third year as a coach?
Yeah.
Where he's making this team a lot better with what he has, and they went deep into the playoffs.
They had the number 1 seed.
Exactly.
So, no, I totally agree with you. I don't understand why Brad Stevens was not in the top 3 of this.
Steve Kerr was on there. He got 14% of the vote.
All right.
Brad Stevens got 96 votes. Steve Kerr got 14 votes.
But still, Brad Stevens, I don't understand Mike D'Antoni.
That was the voting, and then the 3 nominees were D'Antoni, Popovich, and
Spoelstra.
Spoelstra.
And Spoelstra, the argument is because the team started 2-15 and they finished 500. That was the argument as to why Spoelstra should be considered for Coach of the Year. But I'm like, you didn't. So you did your job basically. You're supposed to be better than mediocre.
You did your job, and you got your team to 500. That's
right.
That's mediocre, average
Right.
at best.
Exactly.
That's why I don't get it.
I don't know how that qualifies you for Coach of the Year.
Neither do I.
Mike D'Antoni, yeah, running gun, we know what he is. But again, I look at it and I say to you, every year we're going to say Pop should be in it.
Yeah, definitely.
But then every year we could just give it to Pop because of his style. And there are other people who feel like maybe there's something different one year versus the other that, this team done. I think, and here's my argument. Quite possibly, if Pop would not have gotten swept in the postseason, I think there might have been a case for why he might be Coach of the Year this year.
I definitely agree with that.
However, since nobody was able to take a game from Golden State until Cleveland did in the finals, yeah, I guess I kind of got to go with, all right. But then again, Houston got swept as well, so that just kills my argument. Never mind.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, so Defensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to our friend. We all love him. Shrek himself, Draymond Green.
Yeah, I don't agree with this one.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I do not agree with it. I think it should have been Kawhi Leonard of San Antonio. Granted, he got injured in the postseason. But I think if there was one player who is on the defensive and is when you think of actual defense, not dirty plays, I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard over Draymond. I understand it. I don't agree with it.
I'm actually, as much as I don't like him, I agree with it. Because, and I would say it's solely based because he has a ring. He got the ring this year.
Now he's got 2.
And even though he's a dirty player, he got the ring.
He's the dirtiest player in the game.
All right, and most valuable player. We were all pushing for him to get most valuable player.
Yes, we were.
Russell Westbrook is this year's
good
MVP.
And the way,
congratulations.
That is exactly how it should be. I said to you, I said this at the end of the regular season. I said it before the season ended. I said there better not be no co-MVP of the league. I know at times it was James Harden versus Russell Westbrook. I said there is not. I said Russell Westbrook needs to be the MVP for everything that he had to endure this season. Losing his sidekick, taking over a team, still making the postseason. And granted, yes, he got swept, but look at the pieces around him.
KD actually reached out to him.
I just saw that before we came on today.
And Jordan sent him a note saying, I won my first MVP before my first championship.
There you go. So
he deserves it.
Yeah. I said that from jump. I'm not changing my mind. I'm glad it came to fruition. And congratulations to, as I call him, the pit bull, Russell Westbrook, for winning MVP of the league. Because, brother, if there was one person who earned it and deserved it, it was you. I totally agree with that.
There are a few awards last night, but I think one of the last major ones was the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Bill Russell.
Love him.
Hall of Famer of the Boston Celtics.
Love that man.
Still has some spunk left into him. He said he'd kick about 5 Hall of Famers' asses last night.
Damn
so
right.
Awesome. So congratulations to Bill Russell. So those were the awards last night.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, I want to ask you
a
couple questions. So we talked about this last week, talked about it on Saturday. where Paul George might actually land.
Okay.
Now, it's been cooled off since the Cavs. Now it's actually reignited that the Cavs are still trying to make a push. They're trying to involve Denver into the three-way trade involving Kevin Love. And now it looks like Boston has emerged again, not only trying to get him, but also trying to get Gordon Hayward. So let me ask you, who do you think has the most pull in this could-be trade? I'm going to say, honestly, is Boston because they've got more picks.
You're on with Whole Nother Level. Who we talking to?
How you boys doing?
What's up, Natasha? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Talked to LeVar yet?
We haven't talked to LeVar. We were actually going to take a break and then come back and talk about him because I know you are dying to say something about LeVar Ball and what he did. So let's do this. We're actually going to I'm gonna ask, just hold on for a little bit. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about him, all right?
All right. Did you want me to put me on hold or just to call back?
No, just hold on a sec.
All right. Cool.
All right, folks, you're listening to us, Whole Nother Level. We are on Rat Pack Sports Radio. We're also on Spreaker.com and Raw Talk Online.
Oh, it's also Castbox FM.
Castbox FM. We're there as well. Make sure you check us out on all four. Whole Nother Level. Be right back. Welcome back to Whole Nother Level. We are here at Cowork. Great Al Bushman alongside your man, Eric Wilson. And on the line, we have our girl, Natasha. Natasha, thanks for holding on. We appreciate you.
Of course. That brings some flavor into it.
So I know you're dying to talk about this, so let's go ahead and get to it. So last night, along with the NBA awards and along with the 3-on-3 basketball, LeVar Ball and his sons made a special guest appearance on WWE's Monday Night Raw. Natasha, what happened?
Well, last night WWE unleashed the balls. LeVar Ball, did you guys see that run?
You know, I
It kind
didn't.
of reminded me of like
I saw
Stewart.
the highlights of it on Twitter, and I must say he is now officially a sideshow. So I don't. It's another level, a whole nother level of the whole ball circus. So I was really surprised the Miz didn't try to powerbomb him or whatever.
Well, they are definitely the Kardashians of basketball, and they proved it last night. But unfortunately, the viewership wasn't up to par. Only about 3 million viewers, which is actually down, especially with all the hype that they were giving, this in their appearance. They not only had one ball, they had 3 balls on WWE, and their numbers were just low.
Natasha, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's I think about time we could maybe say his 15 minutes are up because now the draft is over. His son has been drafted by the LA Lakers. Do you think now he's trying to bleed as much 15 minutes as he can out of this? Because I think this appearance on WWE has maybe jumped the shark, as we would say.
No, good Lord, this is just the beginning. Like, this is just bringing on the attention, the fact that his son is now, like, second-round pick for the Lakers. He's definitely going to keep it going. We're gonna see LeVar Ball every day. We're gonna see balls dropping left and right. And he actually proclaimed himself a prophet last night.
Well,
did you guys see that?
I didn't know. I'm so glad I didn't because I'd probably throw up in my mouth if he declared himself a prophet. A prophet of what? Bad TV?
I have no idea. The fact that he knew what was going to happen with his son, and he's making all these predictions, of course, like as you can, as we've seen already, he said that his son is going to help the Lakers get into the finals and
wait. He said his son is going to help the Los Angeles Lakers get into what finals? The NBA finals?
Yeah, didn't you see what
No.
Have you guys not been paying attention to the circus?
Yes, he actually did say that. He's predicted that his son is going to take the Lakers next year to the playoffs.
Next year. Okay, as in 2018, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be in the postseason.
That is correct.
I want to know what the odds are on this because I would rather see the LA Clippers get to the NBA Finals before LeVar Ball and the Los Angeles Lakers and Lonzo Ball get to the NBA final. Has he truly lost his mind? Truly.
Well, he didn't predict just getting there. He said that they were going to win it all. That they were going to be NBA champs.
Remember, kids, don't
year.
smoke crack.
2000.
This is during the draft. Did you see him go crazy for it?
We have predicted already what the NBA finals are going to be. It's going to be Cleveland versus Golden State, Part 4.
I don't know, man. Minnesota's looking pretty good right now.
Minnesota can look as good as they want to. You have to find a way to stop Steph, KD, Draymond, Klay Thompson. The fact that 7 teams are interested for Iguodala right now, coming off the bench, only says to you that if they decide to get rid of him, they're bringing somebody in to be a bench player and someone who has the explosiveness of an Iguodala who can come off the bench. It really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, I think you're more than likely to see Conor McGregor knock out Floyd Mayweather.
That's going to happen.
Than having the Lakers go to the playoffs.
Conor's knocking out
Floyd.
Floyd.
Well, that's going to happen. We're going to make that happen. That's going to be magic out of nowhere. Let's do that.
There is no way. No way in 20.
I know, but maybe.
No. Natasha, as always, girl, thank you for chiming in. We really appreciate it. We're going to talk to you in a bit, all right?
Of course. Miss you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. We miss you, too. We'll talk to you later. That's our girl, Natasha, chiming in for us. I cannot believe he actually formulated his lips and said that next year.
He did.
If this was down the road and said, okay, in
year.
the next 5 maybe, I'd be like, all right, I like that. But for him to say that 2018, the NBA World Champions are going to be the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't even want to.
Do you think that the Lakers organization is going to let him be courtside? Right next to Jack Nicholson.
I just.
Hey, LeVar, is that your
It's
kid
his
going
dad.
there? I know.
I mean, and he is a member of the organization. Listen, Magic opened the door on this sideshow. So
yeah, but if you're Magic and you know what kind of sideshow he is, do you let him on the court side? Do you let him cheer courtside, where he could possibly get in the way and possibly cause trouble? Even though that it's his dad, even though he's getting tickets, do you allow him courtside?
From the money aspect of it, and I can't believe I'm even saying this right now, from the money aspect of it.
Because you know what? People will tune into Lakers games just to see what he does.
Yes. Forget about what's going on the court. They want to see what LeVar Ball is going to do. He has created this brand. And everybody, I mean everybody, from ESPN to Fox to us at whole nother level, we continuously talk about this man. And now he's gone so far as to go into the biggest sports entertainment arena in the it's global.
Yep.
Okay? And WWE has brought him on. Now, granted, they also had to issue an apology because his sons
made some slurs, man.
Came out their mouth with some knucklehead noise, and now WWE had to come out and apologize. So I don't know if we're going to see the Ball family again on WWE. But taking that away from the fact, okay, you had your moment in the spotlight over there, but now we're talking about when October, November rolls around and the Lakers are playing. I'm going to answer your question and say, yes, he's going to be courtside. He might not be next to Jack, but he going to be courtside somewhere.
What do you mean he's not going to sit next to me?
Jack don't want that. I just...
You want to get nuts, LeVar?
That is a great Jack Nicholson.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But
here's Johnny. Or it should be, here's LeVar.
Yeah. I'm just saying to you. I mean, you're on with whole nother level. Who we talking to?
Can we please just put to rest LeVar Ball talk?
No, unfortunately, we can't.
I mean,
it's trending,
even
Craig.
we're even going to fuel this fire.
Come on, Craig. It's trending.
Unfortunately, Craig, we can't, man.
This is it can trend right down the toilet, and then I can flush.
We've
Because
tried that.
His son has not even played a single play in the NBA, not even the summer league.
But they're going to the playoffs, Craig.
They're winning it all,
They'll
Craig.
win it all
Not.
next year. Come on.
There's zero chance they're going to the playoffs, and zero chance they're winning it all.
Come on, Craig.
Zero.
Come on, Craig.
Zero.
Come on, Craig.
Listen, good thing that they were also competing with like 5 other things that wanted to get put on the same night, and that's one of the reasons why I think on your first segment, the Big 3 basketball league, yeah, they had okay ratings, but not as much as they wanted to because there was too much other things going on for people to actually tune in. They had the NBA Awards show, the Big 3. They had the NFL Network's Top 100. They had the WWE event going on. And then also other things like, The Bachelorette. I'm not saying that I watched it, but I'm not saying that I didn't.
American Ninja Warrior was on.
So, yeah, there was a lot of competition last night. I like some good things and some bad things about that league. I thought when I watched it a little bit, everybody looked a little bit slow, but it was also because I kind of wanted to tune into some other things at the same time, so I kind of didn't give it, my total attention.
So basically
I do like
you're
the fact
watching,
that there is a 4-point play.
Basically, you're watching The Bachelor the whole time, pretty much.
I was watching everything,
Okay.
So Craig,
Yeah.
let me ask you really quick. How do you feel about the NBA awards last night? More importantly, how do you feel about Mike D'Antoni getting Coach of the Year?
Yeah, I had some mixed reviews about the awards, and I watched a lot of that. I thought there was a lot of good coming out of the award ceremony. I also thought a lot of it was pretty cheesy as well. But as far as Mike D'Antoni goes, I could see why that he was in the conversation, but he shouldn't have won the award. I think the award should have went to Greg Popovich probably, or obviously the fact that Brad Stevens didn't even make the top 3 when the Boston Celtics finished number 1 in the Eastern Conference with a 5'9" superstar and a bunch of really good but not great players, and you finished number 1 in the Eastern Conference, and you made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Granted, lost to Cleveland in 5, but at the same time, how they even won one game with that constructed roster and no IT in that game is a testament to the coach itself. And he's gotten better every single year that he's been with Boston, and I think that you're going to continue to see that rise.
All right,
as far as some of the other,
go ahead. Go ahead.
As far as,
I was going to ask
What
you,
was
how do you feel now? Speaking of your Celtics, how do you feel about this plan that the Celtics are trying to implement to get both Paul George and Gordon Hayward?
Well, I mean, if it comes to fruition, then there is going to be some other conversations about who's going to make the finals, because that would give you a big 4 over there in Boston. IT at the point, you could put Gordon Hayward at the 2, Paul George at the 3, and you still have Al Horford. So could they compete with Golden State? That's still a question, because if you take the top 2 players, I'm still taking Kevin Durant, I'm still taking Curry. But then I'm grabbing 3 from Boston. I'm going, obviously, IT, Hayward, and Paul George over Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. Then you can throw Al Horford in the conversation if you want to. But, yeah, I mean, you'll have to see what they'll have to give up, and then you'll also have to see if it comes to fruition, because there's been a lot of Lakers talk. There's been a lot of Cavs talk. And, just like Jimmy Butler, there are always rumors going around. You never know where a player is going to land. But if they can do that, and trust me, that would be huge, and it's time for them to do that, then they'll be in the conversation for sure.
Weren't you worried about Danny Ainge being all, why is he doing this? He's not taking anybody. He's just getting picks. Now you know why.
Yeah, but he still has not pulled the trigger on a deal. So until that deal is done, it's all hearsay. And Paul George has to agree to an extension, because the last that came out of his mouth is he wants to go with the Lakers. He wants to sign with the Lakers next season. So if they can commit to an extension, then yeah, it's a great deal, depending on what you have to give up. But from what I've been hearing, it's the Memphis pick. It's either the Lakers or the Sixers first-round pick. So they wouldn't have to give up Brooklyn's number 1 pick or first-round pick next year, which very well could be number 1. They might have to give up. Obviously, they have to give up probably Jay Crowder and then maybe another player. But you would still keep your core bench in place. So that would be a great trade if that happens.
All right, man. Well, we're going to let you ride out of here. I know we're going to talk to you in a little bit, but thanks for chiming in as always.
Yeah,
Whoops. Oh, my bad, Craig. My bad, dude.
That was an accident. We didn't mean to hang up on you,
we've
Craig.
We've got a chat from our buddy Ben over at BS3 Sports.
Oh, what's going on, Ben? What's up, man? What's he saying?
He said he would have given it to Pop for the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I completely agree with it, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, unfortunately, I think because he got swept, I think that might have factored in the reason.
Yeah, but don't you think because he went further? I mean, I don't like awards. They make me angry, especially when it comes to sports. I would just say because I would say the record was better than Houston, just all around. Like,
listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, but at the end of the day, this is one of the things that we celebrate.
I know.
And we don't give it to everybody. You have to earn it. Now, I'm sorry. Eric Spoelstra didn't earn it.
No, hell no.
Mike D'Antoni, I can see it. But at the end of the day, I'm saying that it should have been either Pop or Brad Stevens. Let's take another break. When we come back, we're going to switch to baseball. Also, we might throw in a little fantasy football talk.
No,
for y'all.
we are.
Oh, we're throwing in. I'm sorry.
Are.
Excuse me. We are throwing in fantasy football. You are listening to us. Whole nother level. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Whole Nother Level. We are at Cowork, Florida. We're on Raw Talk Online, Spreaker.com, Rat Pack Sports Radio, and also, what was one I just forgot? Kofax or Colinks? Or
Cashbox.fm.
Cashbox.fm.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the great Al Bushman alongside your man Eric Wilson, and he was driving here, so now he is in studio. It is the one, the only, Greg Cousin.
You know, you could have just saved it for the studio.
You could have.
You were that close.
I didn't realize how close I was.
Traffic was that good today.
It was good.
Yeah. So we are going to talk some baseball here because it is the AL East. And, gentlemen, we're getting to that time. So I want to hear from you. With the trade deadline coming up, I want to hear from your two respective teams. Great L. Bushman with the Rays, Craig with the Red Sox.
Because you really can't include the Phillies in this.
Shut up.
Do you want to do Toronto since you did them for the priests?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to do Toronto. I'm gonna go to you two gentlemen and say to you, what do you feel your team could do or should do before the trade deadline? Great L. Bushman, I'll start with you in the Rays.
Well, they've already started to be buyers.
Okay.
They just traded for the shortstop for the Marlins, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. It's really hard.
Okay. Fair enough.
So going into the trade deadline, I see the Rays as buyers because this year they're not in the cellar. They're not going anywhere so far. They are right in the thick of it. They're only 2.5 games out of first place behind the Red Sox and the Yankees. So they are going to buy, and they're going to probably buy big to get a piece that's going to push them.
Wait. You said the Rays are going to buy big.
They're going to buy big.
So they're going to spend some money for once.
They're going to trade.
Okay.
They're going to trade to get either a big name reliever or they're going to get something else to help them in the. I mean, lineup wise,
little bullpen help.
I would say
perhaps
bullpen help is their biggest thing right now. So they will be buyers at the trade deadline. Nobody's like the starting pitching rotation where everybody thought people were going to be traded away. Cobb, Archer, those guys are staying. Longoria is not going anywhere. They are going to be buying, and they'll probably have to give up prospects. Maybe a utility guy that's on the bench right now, but they will be buyers.
Okay. All right. So, Craig, I'm going to ask you. You're Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
You guys are starting to make some noise, right? Well, not make some noise, but what you have predicted, my brother, we started to see the evolution of it, meaning the Yankees have started to slide, and Boston has kind of been just slowly saying, okay, keep making those mistakes. We're going to overtake you very soon.
And Boston's not playing phenomenal, but they're playing good enough to stay above 500, and they're competing with the rest of the division. The Yankees started off hot, and we had many shows that I was just like, you know what, this isn't the team that I saw preseason. So I think great that they're starting out hot and great that they have all this young talent, and we know about Judge, and so that's all they talk about.
Yeah, nobody thought Judge was going to be that good.
I mean,
nobody.
Absolutely not.
Nobody.
I mean, he's on pace to be the top rookie ever statistically. I think it was him, Mike Trout, and shoeless Joe Jackson he's in the conversation with, which is ridiculous, and I understand why people are talking about it. But also, I mean, they're, I believe, 2-9 in their last 11 games. So, there's other things in the MLB to talk about. The team isn't winning right now.
Nope.
So, obviously they're still in first place of the division, tied for it with Boston. I think what Boston needs to do is two things. First off, they need to get healthy. They haven't been healthy all season. People have been in and out of the lineup, both on the offense and defensive end, and you have to get better outings from David Price. If not, then it's time to move on. I mean,
you guys just picked up Doug Fister, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Pomerantz is 6-4. He's been playing all right. He pitches tonight. Chris Sale's been absolutely unbelievable, but then when he pitches good, sometimes he doesn't get the runs assists that he needs. And our bullpen is ridiculous. They're closing. Craig Kimbrell is playing the best that he's played ever. So that's solidified there. So I really just think health and then possibly another starting pitcher, depending on what happens with Price. But we really just have to get healthy. I mean, that's the bottom line.
So buyers at the trade deadline.
They're always buyers for the most part. I mean,
so buying big. I mean,
I don't really think we need anything big. I wouldn't give up anything big.
No.
So
well, you're going to have to if you're going to
exactly
an arm.
Exactly. So I'm not too sure.
I
kind of feel like if we stay pat and get healthy, that'll be all right. But
is David Price gonna be a Boston Red Sox after this season?
Well,
his contract says
he will be. So.
Okay, but we
just have to start getting better outings from him. You know, earlier in the season,
that's my question.
Earlier in the season, we didn't know if he was going to even have to have Tommy John. El said that he thought he wouldn't even finish the season, and that very well might be the case. We have to wait and see. He's had some good outings, but he's also had some really spotty ones.
Okay.
So
and he's getting older too.
He is. He has to consistently get it together, and I just think for whatever reason, maybe it goes back to his days with the Rays. Boston fans are always in his head one way or the other. Even when they're on the side, they're in the side.
On the same side.
Exactly.
Oh,
so he has to figure out a way to get, exercise those demons and just go out there and pitch. Be like he used to pitch.
Yeah, it's kind of like Philadelphia.
Are you guys still a little bit butt sore because we beat you in Game 7? Because he pitched because he closed.
Craig, I got the answer for that. Craig, L. Bushman, you still a little butt sore that the Phillies beat the Rays in the World Series?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Because the Phillies are in last place right now.
Doesn't matter. We still got a ring and you don't.
What have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
We got a ring and you don't. This is the one time I can say this.
That's cool.
Okay?
Hey, how many
Phillies got a ring.
How many rings does the Eagles have? How many
I
rings
literally knew that was
have?
coming.
How many rings?
The Bucks have? They have one.
One.
How many did the Eagles have?
One.
How many Eagles
You have one more
How
than
many
us.
does the Eagles have?
You have one more
0.
than us.
So we're tied. 1-1.
You have one more than us.
So
Ask Dan Marino what one more means.
Yeah, I know.
So we're 1-1 with rings with Philly and Tampa.
There you go.
Right.
1-1.
Okay.
Still.
1-1 and hopefully not one and done.
No, we're getting ours. We're getting ours. So speaking of football, since he loves to go there with it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, man, it's
Dun,
coming up.
dun,
We got
dun,
what,
dun.
another month?
Dun, 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 dun.
Fantasy football leagues are starting to sprout up. Drafts
Oh,
are
my
happening.
goodness.
It's coming.
It's happening.
Training camp's right around the corner.
Exactly.
The Hall of Fame game is 5 weeks away.
I just talked
First
to
preseason game.
one of the producers up in Philly actually today. Eric Long is his name. I was just talking to him. I said, I know you guys are starting with OTAs and stuff, but what you guys got on lock and on tap, just trying to get some intel. He's like, Eric, talk to me after training camp. I might be able to help you out there.
Yeah,
So,
we don't want to talk to you right now.
I do. I'm trying to find out what's going on, man.
We know what's going on.
Torrey Smith.
I know what's going on.
Alshon Jeffries?
The Eagles
Here we
playing
go.
probably the most competitive division in football, and I can say that now because all 4 teams are going to be pretty good.
No,
But at the
Redskins
same
still-
time, I wouldn't be
Redskins still
surprised
suck.
if they all go 8-8.
No, Redskins still suck. So, speaking of that, Great L. Bushman put a couple questions out there, so let's. I'll turn it over to you, my brother. Fantasy football talk.
Fantasy football
Yes.
here at Whole Nother Level.
I like that.
Brought to you by the great L. Bushman.
I don't like that.
There you go. So
I like the first part, not the second.
here we go. Fantasy football. Craig, who would you take as your first pick?
Ooh, what kind of league is it? Are we talking PPR? Are we talking
Yeah, I
full
should have
point
thrown that in
PPR?
the question.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
do.
because
all right.
it all
right,
changes.
Here we go. Who would first pick in PPR,
Okay.
and then who would you pick in standard?
See, I have had a lot of success the last 2 years picking wide receivers early.
Yeah. Okay.
And I never used to do that. I always
Well, that's
take
good for
quarterback
PPR.
early, and I used to take running back early. But the running back position is so injury prone nowadays
Yes, it is.
that it's really hard for me to take a running back super early. So with that said,
With the first pick.
with the first pick in the 2017 fantasy football draft, I would select. I'm going to have to go Antonio Brown. I mean, he just makes so many plays. He gets a lot of catches. I think Martavius Bryant's going to be back on the other side, which will take pressure off of him.
Yeah.
He'll be he's still not going to be singled, but he'll be doubled and not tripled and quadrupled like he was last year. I'd probably go Antonio Brown in that situation, but Odell
for PPR?
For a PPR league.
Okay. What about standard?
Standard, I'm going to go running back. So standard, I'm going to go running back, and that's a tough choice. I'm going to probably go David Johnson. But I wouldn't be upset with anyone going Le'Veon Bell or Zeke Elliott at this point either.
Great L. Bushman. First pick. Who would you take?
For PPR?
For PPR.
Mike Evans. And I'm not being
Homer! Homer!
You know, Homer is my job on this show, buddy, but go ahead.
You're turning yellow over there. Looking like Homer Simpson.
I would say Mike Evans.
All right.
And
Standard? Okay, sorry.
And in PPR. I say that because now there's going to be a little bit of pressure off him because you have Deshaun Jackson now, you have O.J. Howard, you have Cameron Brate, and even Goodwin too that they picked up. So now coverage is not going to be so much on him.
Right.
So now Winston can actually sling it to him. So PPR wise, that's good.
Right. I do like that pick. He's going to have such a great year because, again, Deshaun Jackson's going to spread the field, and the safety has to go over the top of Deshaun Jackson. So there actually is going to be a lot of games where obviously the best corner is going to be on Mike Evans, but he will be singled.
Now, standard league, you can go either way. You can go running back, and sometimes some jackasses take quarterback in the first round.
Depending on 4 or 6-point touchdowns, yeah.
Exactly. I would go Le'Veon Bell. Because I look at consistency. And
are you worried about him hitting the green a little bit and suspended again? See, that just a little bit. It's like cause to pause, if you will.
It is.
If if LeVar is off the board, I would say David Johnson.
If LeVar is, God, he's
sorry,
still in your head.
Le'Veon.
He is still in you guys' head.
Not mine.
And that's what I was going to tell you guys when you hung up on me. All right.
I would say if he is off the board, I would say David Johnson.
All right.
Because right now, he is the offense there.
So for me,
I would say David Johnson.
And yeah, this is.
I swear to God, if you pick a Phillies,
I am.
Oh, what are you going, Carson Wentz?
No. For PPR with the first pick,
Torrey Smith,
Alshon Jeffries. I'm going Alshon.
Hey, what?
You're going Alshon Jeffries.
What did you finish?
If you have the number one overall
No.
pick
This
fantasy.
isn't. It's just who would you pick first?
No. This is number one.
This is I have the very first pick.
Yeah.
Oh, the very first
I was about
pick.
to say, if you're picking injury-prone old Alshon Jeffries, number one.
What did you finish your first league last year?
You finished around 500, actually. Like, he was mid-pack.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
And then I heard that, hold on, is this true that you're not even playing this next upcoming year?
I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
There's an opening.
I thought you were.
This
No.
is
I'm playing in yours.
So you are playing.
I'm playing, but I'm not playing in the one that I played.
Okay, so
last
listen.
year.
These are the stipulations last year. This league
Wasn't
is
it 14?
a tight
14, okay.
which is a tight knit group that we want the same people every single year. Eric finishes mid pack one year and he's out the next year. Are you kidding me?
Would you
and it's his first time playing fantasy, so he's just now learning the game.
I can see first year go around that you finished dead last. A 14-team league is actually pretty hard.
No, I know.
But to finish middle of the pack,
and then just give up.
dude, come back.
No. I'm gonna play.
So there's an opening if you want it.
No,
I'm taking already like 4 leagues as it is.
I'm gonna play in the one that we're gonna
Yeah,
do
but
at
I'm
old
talking
school
about crazy
because that one I was like, okay, I got it out my system. Listen, I may only play this year and be done. Seriously, fantasy is that's like heart wrenching. Every single game.
But to finish 500 in that type of league,
I
would definitely come back.
Listen, I was under 500.
And it's a bigger money league too.
And I'm just, you know what? My money right now is going towards my house.
And you can definitely
so
pick Carson
I
Wentz
have
as
to,
your first pick.
Listen.
You can make.
Listen to
me. You know
me.
what's funny about fantasy? You can actually make your whole team an actual team because my buddy did it one year. He did all the Colts when they were actually good. He did all the Colts players.
Oh, I've thought about
can
it.
do that.
I
and
thought
make
about
all
it.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
I thought about it.
You'll finish dead last.
And also, let me play you on your bye week.
But all right. So I have the very, very first
the
pick.
very first
okay.
pick. This is a
the
PPR,
very first
PPR.
pick. PPR. Ooh. That's actually a good one. I have to think about that now
I'm really
because
surprised you didn't say it and I didn't say it, but
I got a couple. I mean, you could interchange 5 or 6 people, and you could make the argument for all of them.
Yeah.
You know what? Even though he is prone to not be healthy, but when he does play, he's one of the best. I'll take Gronk with the very first pick.
oof.
Interesting.
In a PPR.
I'm really
Now,
surprised that you didn't say Julio Jones.
Julio's up there.
Julio
Odell
is up
Beckham
there.
is up there.
See, I don't trust Odell. But now in a standard league, and here's where I'm going to shock you guys. Well, I may not. In a standard league,
Wendell Smallwood.
the number one, and I have the number one pick. You know who I'm taking? Taking Brady. With the number one pick, I'm taking Brady in a standard league.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
there's some people that will say
We'll
you're crazy, and there's some people that love that pick.
Yeah.
because
Especially in a standard league.
Yeah.
Our league forever used to be heavy quarterback first round, and it was a 6-point for touchdown league and a half-point PPR. And there was still 6 to 7 quarterbacks would be taken in the first round, and everybody would start panicking taking quarterbacks. I went away from that the last 2 years. And granted, I haven't won the last 2 years, but I finished second.
Right.
Second, both times or second and third. So I've been very, very close. If Kirk Cousins decided he didn't want to have to take a sack last year when all I needed was a half a point, which is basically one catch for 10 yards, then I would have won. Because I would have crushed in the finals.
Right.
So I made it to the semifinals and I lost. But again, what ifs?
You're taking Gronk as your first pick.
Yes.
You're rolling the dice.
I am. But I feel like if this is potentially, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if this is potentially the last year of Tom Brady, I think
potentially be the last year of Gronk.
Well, that's another thing. I think that Gronk is more about the entertainment side of things, so I think he might get out.
You don't get points for dancing.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you
drinking.
is, if he knows that he's made a conscious decision, okay, I'm going to go all out this year, and no matter what happens, I'm done after this year because this might be Brady's last year, and I don't want to play with anybody else. Plus, I've got other stuff going on to keep the money coming in. He might have a ball-out year, actually be healthy for 13, 14 games.
It's a very high
risk. It's high risk, high reward. But in a PPR league, I would take him first.
I would definitely take Dwayne Allen before him.
So, all right. So with that,
I'm taking Brandon Cooks in the PPR and Julian Edelman probably.
Who would you avoid?
In both standard and PPR?
Let's just do PPR. Who would you avoid in PPR?
I would definitely avoid.
Are you talking about first round or just people you're kind of
just
trying to
people
avoid in general?
All around in general.
Okay.
Craig, you go first. I have to think.
A couple people that I would avoid probably in a PPR league this year would be. Oh, that's tough.
Actually, I have one.
You know, any injury prone player, I'm usually going to try to avoid unless I'm getting him in round 5 or later.
Okay.
Unless he is just a stud and you can pick him in like round 3 or 4.
Right.
But I'm going to avoid, and this is going to probably sound a little weird. I'm going to avoid Larry Fitzgerald this year because I think that you're going to have to pick him between rounds 2 and 4.
Oh, I would go later than that.
And well, that's what I'm saying.
Ugh.
I think people will jump to take him, and I think that he's showing his age a little bit. And I think Carson hasn't really been able in the last year or so to show that he's a top 10 quarterback. And that's why they fell off. And Charles, I had Arizona Cardinals going to really far. Did I have them going to the Super Bowl?
You had
the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
that was an extreme disappointment. So I think he might take a little bit of a step off. And I know that I'll probably catch a lot of slack for that. It's not like one you have to avoid, but I'm thinking like, you know, that might take a little bit of a step down this year.
I would say anybody on the Jets. But no, Des Bryant.
Really?
I would avoid. Yes.
Staying in the wide receiver, Kelvin Benjamin.
Again, another injury-prone wide receiver.
And I think we're going to see a lot more out of White Lightning this year than we are from the.
And plus, Cam's coming off an injury too,
right?
So you don't know what type of Cam Newton you're going to get.
Exactly, but Kelvin Benjamin is who I would. Okay, so sleeper. Give me a sleeper.
Deshaun Jackson.
Really?
Or O.J. Howard. I'm saying anything on the Bucks you can go with. Sleepers.
You got Eric. You go first on this.
Well, I'm going to tell you my sleeper, and again, it's a homer pick. But it's because he's finally in, I think, the position that suits him, Jordan Matthews, because now he's officially in the slot.
Oh, but he's going to have a great year.
I would even say Brandon Cooks, too.
I don't think he's a sleeper. I think he's going to have a lot of, especially PPR, he's going to have a lot of receptions, and so is Julian Edelman. I mean, that offense is going to be unstoppable.
Exactly.
We'll get into that in our pregame show.
Yeah.
Or Willie Snead.
Ooh, there's a good one.
Willie Snead.
I did not think about
that's
that.
That's a good one.
Snead would be a definite.
Here's going to be. I don't even know if it's a sleeper at this point, but I think he's going to have I think he's going to have a fantastic year, and that's because Kirk Cousins lost to Deshaun Jackson. He lost Pierre Garçon.
Yep.
So I think Terrell Pryor in a new system, with a better quarterback, is going to really, really ball out this year.
Okay. And is there a rookie this year that you would actually take a chance on?
Leonard Fournette. And I think Jacksonville is going to finally understand what it takes to get a little bit of pressure off of Blake Bortles. I think that he is a bruising back that's going to get the ball on the goal line, and getting the ball on the goal line in a fantasy situation puts 6 points on the board, or 4 points depending on your system that's set up. But I think that he's going to have a decent amount of touchdowns as a rookie, and he's going to get a lot of touches. So that's who I would pick.
All right.
Who's the kid that got drafted out of Western Michigan?
Corey.
Oh.
The wide receiver.
Corey
you're talking
Davis?
about? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Corey Davis.
It is.
Yeah.
For the Cleveland Browns, no? No. What am I thinking?
Corey Davis? I didn't think he went to Cleveland, did he?
I forget who went
Okay.
to Cleveland. They drafted a receiver. It just.
While you guys are taking care of that, I'm actually going to go with
Yeah, Corey Davis because he's with the Titans. That's why.
Titans, that's what
Tennessee.
it was.
Okay.
Tennessee.
I'll tell you what, though, that Titan Eric Decker pickup there was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
Because
He might be a sleeper this year.
Corey Davis on that offense with Mariota thrown to him.
Yeah.
He actually has a big target now.
Yeah.
And he's fast. Corey Davis.
My rookie, and again, I'm taking high risk, high reward. I'm taking the guy that I've been preaching about when I found out he finally went to Houston. I'm going to say Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
If he gets in,
I was gonna say that.
if he gets,
I was definitely gonna say.
I'm telling you right now, if he gets in, and I'm riding this for as long as I possibly can, because I'm still saying Houston's going to win this division, even with the additions that Tennessee has made, even with Jacksonville kind of stepping up their game a little bit, and Craig was a year too early. I'm still saying, and I've said it since the draft, Deshaun Watson with the Houston Texans at center is the reason.
Well, he's the
They
real
are
deal.
going to win the AFC South. So
Will not happen.
And
He is my rookie.
I do think he's the real deal, and I told you guys that on draft night.
Yeah.
But the funny situations that are going on right now, Deshaun Kaiser, it's not out of the ordinary that he might start for the Cleveland Browns because all he has to do is beat out Brock Osweiler.
And if that happens, they're winning week 1 against Philadelphia. I mean, against Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. He's already calling the ups on his own.
Already calling
already.
it. Yes, week 1.
And actually, I've been hearing a lot of buzz around Patrick Mahomes in the offseason. So, Alex Smith, I mean, I know you're going to start looking over your shoulder.
Oakland's got that division locked up.
I'm not talking about divisions. I'm just talking about rookie quarterbacks possibly thriving in decent positions this year, and that will be good for fantasy.
It will be. It really will be. I might actually do it. Gentlemen, this has been great. We've got to ride out. So for Craig Cousin, the great Al Bushman, our girl Natasha who chimed in, thank you. This is your man Eric Wilson. Until Saturday, we've taken you to a whole nother level, and we'll see you next time.
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Autobots, transform and roll out.